So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor and privilege to speak to one of the lead actors in the new spin-off Power Book 4. I've got Gabrielle Ryan. How are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, first thing I got to ask you is that you're a Taurus, right?
I am definitely a Taurus.
Yes. No, because I was doing a little bit of digging and I just wanted to make sure because Team Earth Gang all day long. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
So apparently we both get on as far as like, if you want to be a nerd about it, being star signs and stuff like that.
I literally know nothing about star signs.
Right.
All I know is I'm definitely a Taurus. It's like loyal, stubborn. Those are the main ones. Definitely stubborn and passionate. That's the other thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All
Yes.
three, I am.
I definitely say for me that I would say I'm hardworking, stubborn, definitely comes up there as well. Determined, hardworking, I guess. So I guess we have those similarities. It's just like if we're stubborn, we're doing it because we're going for what we want. Would that be to say like that's you in that sense? Like you go for what you want?
Definitely go for what I want. I'm literally thinking like sometimes I'm stubborn for no reason. But no, yeah, I agree. I agree.
I hear that, man. So I mean, firstly, I was looking at your Insta story yesterday, and you were at the red carpet for Outlander.
Yes.
The screening for it as well. Being it part of the Stars family, like, how did it feel to to take on that experience of being with the family and watching the screening of that on that level?
Yeah, it was amazing. Jeff Hirsch, who's the CEO of Stars, who's just been wonderful to me. He said, we need you at the UK premiere. And I was like, say less, I will come over.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Outlander, it's, 6 years in, 6 seasons in. It's amazing. And it's also such a different experience from Power. We're in this like hip hop world with, 50 doing the music and everything. And then Outlander is so quintessentially Scottish and beautiful. And we had the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra playing literally as the whole show was going through. The Royal Philharmonic Orchestra were playing on top of it.
Wow.
So now I just feel like I can't watch anything without an orchestra playing.
So are you going to be expecting that you're just going to order orchestral group to come to your house
like
and play music?
every time I watch anything now, that's the only way I can experience TV now.
So I can imagine like you have your TV, you're watching your programs, and then like on your stereo, you're just having orchestra play just slightly in the background so it levels out.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds realistic.
Realistically with the stereo, but there you go. So I mean, it's great to have you back in, our UK soil.
It is great to be back. I don't often get to come back. I always make sure I'm back for Christmas, but I'm constantly out there auditioning, and we were filming in Chicago, which was incredible, but being able to go back and forth is now that the COVID restrictions have been lifted.
Yes,
is amazing. I am such a
you feel more free
girl.
now, like you can do more things, and you're traveling. You said like you're going to Paris this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Paris on Monday, my first Paris Fashion Week.
Mad. I mean, being a model and a fashion icon, so it seems yourself like taking on those experiences for being in Fashion Week, you must feel right at home.
I mean, like I said, I've never been before. A lot of these experiences are very, very new to me. I feel like I've been.
But you look like you just fit the role so nicely. You just are there.
I mean, I'm an actress, darling.
Well, yes, we know that, yes.
But no, yeah, this is definitely a year of a lot of firsts. This is, as you said before, this is my first big role. And it's definitely, ever since it came out a couple of weeks ago, it's been non-stop, which has been great.
It seems non-stop for you. Like you're just going here, there, and everywhere. I mean, even coming back from New York to LA. I mean, like, with you coming back and forth, like to go to New York or LA, where did that all stem from as far as like you're constantly going back and forth?
So I wanted to go to New York specifically because Lee Strasberg was there and I wanted to study method. So I went there for a semester initially, never planned to stay out there, but I kind of loved it. And I ended up having to get the visa and then go back out, and I kind of was always going back and forth to New York. That was always where I was, and I don't drive.
Really?
So it was kind
of like, can I tell you something? I don't drive either. I'm not driving either. I'm always taking transport.
I blame my dad and all of my ex-boyfriends because they drove me everywhere that I never needed to drive, and now I'm like, oh,
so you feel like a chauffeur, you're being chauffeured now.
It's not even like a bougie thing. I would love to be. I dislike everything about it, but I have a license and everything.
But you just feel like it's long for you.
it's just not my forte.
Right. Well, the whole driver. Wow, we're learning something new today. I mean, it's like
I'll put it this way. The one time I drove in LA, I ended up on the highway. It was like the scene out of bloody Clueless. I was so scared that I ended up pulling up into the hard shoulder, started crying, FaceTime my dad in England, and my dad's literally like, what the hell can I do? Like, how can I help?
You're 3,000 miles away, like, well, more than that.
No, I'm just too scared to get back on. I just find the whole experience, the highways in LA are horrific. And I was in like my little Fiat 500 because I wanted a tiny car because that's what I'm used to in England. And everyone, like all these huge cars were just like looking at me like, what is she doing?
What's she on? I mean, well, just, you know, build up your skills again. Maybe take a few theories again. Like, hopefully, like, you'll get your confidence back just to say, like, you know what, I can do this now. Forget the transport.
I actually am a really good driver. I just don't like it. I really dislike it.
Oh, wow. So you'd rather be the passenger?
Definitely.
At all times. Now I'm learning.
Definitely.
I'm learning. I mean, so, you know, before we talk about your involvement in the new Power spin-off series, this isn't your first rodeo as far as acting. You know, you appeared in many shorts, a lot of TV series, you know, playing Dee Dee Jones in Debris, you know, playing Portia in Bonding, which when I saw that, I was like, yo, like, okay, what a unique role here. I'm thinking like you were letting them know. You were letting them know, basically. Sometimes I got a bit steamy for me, I ain't gonna lie. but obviously you played so many different roles, and obviously like 2010 was when you broke into the acting world,
which shows just how long of a journey it's been.
So longevity
it definitely was not overnight for me.
Yeah, because they normally say it's like it takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
Is that what they say?
I've heard that saying before. I don't know if it's really true, but I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years and I feel like, you know, things are really bubbling now at this point. So, I mean, for you to get to this point of, you know, being in arguably one of the biggest acting roles in your career so far. Oh,
it's definitely my biggest role. I worked out that before this role, you know, I'd only actually had the experience of being on set for about 10, 11 days because everything, you know, I was such a day, they call it a day player, where you come in and leave, you know, this, where you don't really sort of get to stay in and, you know, really sink your teeth into the role because you're so in and out. This is 1000% my biggest role. However, I've auditioned probably, you know, 3 to 4 times a week at some points, every week for years.
I was going to ask that because I'm thinking like how many people were involved in the auditioning process before, like, you know, the decisions were made that you were going to be cast as the lead role? Yeah,
you know, we first of all, it was the height of the pandemic, so everything was via Zoom.
Right.
I was in, you know, New York in my apartment in Harlem, and it was a 7-week process. When I got the original audition and I taped, I found out pretty quickly that they wanted me to go to the next stage, but it was around Thanksgiving and I don't know what happened, but it just went completely silent and I was blowing up my agent's phone like, hey, like, what's up with the, like, are we doing the next round?
Yeah. And
then to the point that he kind of started hinting like, maybe we should just forget about this one and like move on to another one. And I was like, no, what about this one? And I really don't hassle my agents at all like that, but this was a role I wanted.
You wanted bad.
Like this, I was like, this is my role.
You got it bad. When you're on the phone, hang up and you call yeah, literally.
But again, it wasn't just like I did a tape and I got the role. I had to do, I think it was like 4 stages. In the final stage, I chemistry tested with Joseph over Zoom, which was just insane. Yeah,
because how can you build chemistry over like a computer? But
I mean,
like,
we did it.
You did it. Because I've been able to adapt in doing Zoom interviews and building a connection online, but you can never beat being, you know, human interactions.
Not. Yeah, I actually really dislike taping auditions. My friends love it because, you know, you have full control. I love being in the room. I thrive on like the energy of not knowing what's about to happen when I walk into the audition room, you know, not knowing if I'm going to have a terrible reader or an amazing reader, and just like navigating that, you know, on the spot spontaneity with that person. I love that. Yeah,
I can see like, you know, your chemistry like on set, like it just shows, like, you know, even through the casting process, like you were saying, like you're going through like multiple auditions. So when you got to the point of you know, being introduced like 50 and Courtney, like what's the vibe like in terms of, you know, being around all those people, especially the cast members as well? And do you feel like you were just like instantly welcomed in?
Oh yeah, I mean, I first Courtney Kemp was on the Zoom in my final stage. So when I was chemistry testing with Joseph, and she gave me notes, and I've sort of looked up to Courtney for years. Being one of a few black female showrunners in Hollywood. It's just incredible that I'm able to like work with her now. So that was insane that she was like on my Zoom giving me notes. That was amazing. And then 50 Cent is he came to set multiple times. Now I've been around him so often. He's wonderful and has been so giving of his time and advice. And I just I can't thank him enough. And he's 50 Cent and he still takes time out to give advice to me.
It's very giving. What's the best advice? I mean, not necessarily from 50, but anyone that you've been on set with so far. What's the best advice you've been ever given?
Ooh,
and what do you take by day to day?
I mean, Joseph is great at giving nuggets as well. I learned so much from Joseph on set, and he's been doing this since he was, since he was like 12. And again, my on-off boyfriend in the show, Victor, he's been doing it since he was young as well. And just observing them and seeing how they act on set, and Joseph being the leader of the show and how he is, and it's just been really incredible to be around all these vets, and Thomas Flanagan, a fellow Brit as well, who's an absolute legend.
Yes.
Trying to think what the best piece of advice is. There's just been so much, but I think what I will say is I'm glad that all of this happened for me a little later in life, because I think if it had happened when I wanted it to happen earlier, I wouldn't have been ready.
Really?
And
okay.
time,
So you needed that training. You needed those 10 years to really get to that confidence level of like, look, I'm ready for you. This is a role I really wanted. Now it's like, I'm right at home.
But even the maturity of being able to deal with this, I didn't know what to expect when the show came out, and the response has been overwhelming. But it's something that you can't really. People can tell you, oh, it's going to be really successful and this and the other, but you don't know until you experience it yourself. And you hope it's going to be, but the response has been very overwhelming. I've never been recognized before. That's obviously something new.
Yeah.
So I'm just it's all happened at the right time.
Yeah, because I was seeing on Twitter yesterday, like there was like a GIF. I don't know if you've seen it. A fan responded saying, every time I see Gloria on TV, and it was like a GIF of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Will Smith walking and then passing out on the sofa. I don't know if you saw that, because I looked at it, I felt like, that's the right response, because everyone receives you well, and I'm looking at you, it's like, God damn,
Well, that's very kind. Thank you so much. I mean, obviously, it's very flattering. Twitter is a whole new world as well. I just got to grips with Instagram. I'm so bad with like social media and things like that. But Twitter is a whole nother world that I had to get used to. But I'm finding it hysterical. Scrolling through, and people tell you exactly what they think. I have never.
There's no filter.
There is no filter.
No, there's none. There never is. There never is.
But it's typically all really good stuff. Like people are really enjoying the show and all the characters, and I'm so glad that everyone's responding so well to the new characters. We worked so hard, and we're such a little family over there that it's a great response.
I mean, it's definitely given a great response, because obviously, like with the role that you get as Gloria, I mean, you're involved with Vic Flynn. Then there's a little thing with Tommy as well. So it's kind of like a little triangle thing going on, which I think is a bit messy if it were to be in real life, because I don't do them things there.
but we have to. You have to also understand. Gloria is off with Vic when we first meet her.
Right. She's off, but then has interest with
Tommy.
Right.
She is actually technically single. Vic's just turning up
is
at her house
it truly
using the
single?
key that he shouldn't still be using.
Yeah, I hear.
They're definitely on a break.
Yeah, but then a break is not kaput.
Okay, I would argue actually they've broken up.
Right.
I'm actually retracting that. It's not a break. They've broken up. because Gloria's not messy. Gloria's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, logically.
If Vic would stand up to his dad, this wouldn't even be an issue.
Well, I guess. So I mean, like,
he's been explicitly clear about that.
Yeah, he has. But to me, like, if it was real life, it's still a bit messy. I just couldn't fathom it.
But Vic makes it messy. He's like watching outside the bar and turning up at her house.
So I mean, like, has there ever been an experience for you where you've played this role so well, like, being involved, like, okay, being off with Vic, but having interest in Tommy? Has there ever been like a scenario where that's happen to you in real life?
Never.
So you're definitely
I've
separate from the
been
role.
in relationships.
Right.
I've never had anything even remotely similar to multiple people at one time.
Right.
Not even close. I've always been in relationships.
So it's interesting because obviously, like, if you're a very much a relationship person, like, how did you tap into that idea of being on and off with someone and then having interest in another person of that role?
Very messy people.
But how did you get into the mind state as the character in being to do all that, knowing that your real life is definitely the opposite?
Yeah, but again, I mean, is she being messy? I don't think.
No, but I'm not saying messy, but it's just like, because you're saying that relationships, you're just in a relationship, you don't involve yourself with anyone else. That's it. You're just one person, done. Even when you break, like, guessing if you break up, you do single, you do you, go into a relationship, that person's no longer in the mix, but there's still two people in you know what I mean, in the show.
In this situation. No, no, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
I think the reality is, if Walter Flynn, Thomas Flanagan wasn't involved in the situation, they would be happy together.
Right.
You know, I don't think she's not out here whiling for no reason. And she wasn't actually looking for anything. You know, when Tommy walks into the bar, it's completely, you know,
completely innocent.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just naturally happened. Like, so I mean, like, you know, obviously,
and for all she knows, she wasn't going to see him again.
Yeah.
It was just, you know.
It was just like a one-time thing and done.
Yeah.
But then obviously, you know.
Keeps coming back.
The
soup's good.
It's like once you get attracted, once you're attracted, it's like you can never forget them. You can never forget them. It's just like, I might not see you again for a while, but you're gonna come back though. One time you're gonna come back.
She put that special sauce in the soup.
Hey, listen, chili sauce or some sort of sauce, because you definitely bought the sauce. You definitely bought the sauce, especially with two men having interest. There you go. So I mean, you know what? Obviously, the first season has had a great response. You know, congratulations and even being involved, and obviously for you being in this role, it must be like a breath of fresh air that having one of the biggest franchises and you're involved in it, you're in the family. So I mean, I'm hoping there's a season 2. Is there potential that the story can evolve even more over time? Like, what are you thinking at this point?
I mean, gosh, it'd be amazing if the storyline did continue.
I'd love to see more.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I would like to think that they'll get a season 2.
Yeah,
we broke premiere night record.
Yeah,
it was the highest watched show ever on Starz history.
There you go.
Yeah, the Tommy character, what Joseph's done with the Tommy character is incredible. You know, the fact that people waited so long for this show to come out and were still tuned in day one and, you know, loving it. And it's just a true testament to how amazing Joseph Sikora is.
Yeah.
He's taken that Tommy character and, like,
he's evolved it so much.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he's notable as a character. Like, you know,
sure.
You know, you can't deny, like, he's probably one of the most recognized characters in the show. For sure. Yeah, in modern times. So for you to be involved in that now, like, and build more on it, you know what I mean? You know, you are notable in the show. So at this point, it could be that you both equally give legendary status.
Listen, Joseph Sikora as Tommy Egan he's in a league of his own.
Yeah,
like he is.
But you're on your way. You're on your way.
It's the Tommy show.
Yeah, but manifest it. It could be like just as much to say like I'm just as much the show as he is.
Listen, what I always say is we're all guests in the Tommy show.
Right.
Like we are there.
Valued guests in the Tommy show.
World.
Right. Got you.
Everybody is tuning in for Tommy. We're added bonuses.
I mean, a lot of people on Twitter, like I said, that gif, they're loving Gloria. They want more Gloria.
Well, listen, I'm glad. I'm very grateful and glad that people are responding well to the character.
Well, I mean, speaking of which, like, in obviously you're Jamaican chef in the show, and I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite dancehall song in real life? And then what's your favorite signature dish that you can conjure up in real life?
Ooh. So favorite song, I mean, I definitely play on repeat Coffee Toast.
Oh, nice.
Head Celebrity Walking Trophy.
I interviewed her a couple of years ago. Yeah, she killed it with that.
Yeah, that song's amazing. That definitely gets me into the right zone for a lot of roles that I auditioned for.
Wow.
Coffee Toast as well.
Do you play it before like taking on an audition or something?
Yeah. I definitely, music is a great way to get into character.
Yeah.
You know, I have different playlists that I have if it's like a really dark role. Or, depending on what I'm playing, and some I have for on set, some I have for prepping.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So
music is a great outlet for that.
What's your go-to track at the moment? Like, if you had like I don't know, if you got a workout playlist or something that you got like top 3 that you're on rotation right now.
Oh gosh, you know what I do have on rotation? I can't think. Arrdee.
Arrdee,
So I feel really out of the loop because, you know, when I'm in the States, I try and listen to UK radio as much as possible.
You try and be
so
in tune as much as possible, right?
But Arrdee with Flowers, because it reminds me of, obviously, like, I loved like the original Flowers, so this version is awesome.
It's
I'm
crazy.
Pretty sure he's from Brighton as well.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, fellow Brighton.
So I mean, look, you could just see him around the corner. I'm surprised that you guys haven't touched base.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, you're always in different countries, but
yeah, I'm never in one place for long, but yeah, Brighton, we're absolutely representing.
Yeah.
Me and Arrdee.
Yeah. How do you feel coming from Brighton that you've led into one of the biggest roles in your career, and yet you're representing Brighton, you come from your home turf, and how does it feel to be someone proud to be where they're from and knowing they got to a position where they're in now? Yeah,
that is the operative word, proud. I am so proud of Brighton. Like, it was an amazing place to grow up. I love coming back. We have an amazing football team.
Yeah.
Literally, Brighton is the best place. I recommend it to everybody. It's so funny because when I'm in the States, like, and you know, somebody asks me where I'm from, sometimes I say it's London because it's just easier.
It's easy to navigate it.
And they always, like, guys are always like, yo, you guys got the rocks over there, right? You got rocks. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. We do have pebbles on the beach. They're like,
we do.
Yo,
but
we've never seen anything like that. Like, what's up with the rocks?
Yeah. But it's something they don't know about.
I just forget that it's such a random thing having pebbles on a bloody beach. Like, we're just used to like the Caribbean where it's like beautiful sunshine and
blue sea, sand.
Sand and no rocks / pebbles.
Yeah, like if you go to Blackpool or Brighton, like it's literally definition of beaches are rocks and stones and things like that, and fun fair rides if you're lucky, and a few arcades if you're lucky.
But
as well.
Also, we have horrific weather, so we can't even enjoy the beach.
Yeah. So I guess for you being in LA and New York, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like you get like that nice hot LA weather. Do you get that? I mean, I definitely haven't spent as much time in LA as New York. I've spent a lot of time in New York. I would say that was my American life, you know, being in New York. But LA, I'm spending more and more time there now, and the weather is incredible. I bet it is. I'm so jealous. Like the last time I traveled was to Toronto 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it was around about the same temperature in the summertime as it was over here. But it's just like I learned so much. It was like it just felt like London but bigger.
In Toronto, I've never been, but I would love to. Drake, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says Drake, but there are a lot of Canadian artists out there. But everyone says Drake, it's fine. But they
because he reps hard. Like
he does.
Kind of like I love to mention Brighton. I feel like that's like Drake always wanting to mention Toronto. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it when somebody's that into their like home place.
Yeah, they're that invested, and it's bigger as well. Like trying to remember, there's loads of hotspots for you to go to in there's like an adult sort of fun fair, and it's like Niagara Falls.
Cool.
Go to Niagara Falls. Like
I've been to Niagara Falls, incredible. I shot a commercial there.
It's nice, right?
It was an awesome week there.
Yeah. Did you ever go to like the fun fair rides in the casinos around there?
Well, we were shooting in a casino, yeah.
So there you go.
It was my only experience of ever going to a casino. It was definitely an experience.
Did you win some money?
I don't gamble.
Oh, you don't gamble?
No.
Okay, so you're kind of safe. You keep on the side. I mean, I did it once, but it was just like I took out $15 and I actually won 55. But that was just on I spent a round on it, and I was like, yeah, at least I got it. Let me come out. I'm not going to be like one of those addicted people. I don't do that. So, but I mean, of course, I just wanted to touch briefly as well about your modeling career, because I mean, so bloody beautiful. First of all, I got to say, like, as soon as you came into the room, I was like, what? I'm like, what? Don't make me fall in love so quickly.
Have told you to say that, haven't they?
No, coming from the heart. It's not a PR stunt. This is real life.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Seriously. So, I mean, for you, like, being in the modeling world, like, how did those experiences even prep you to, like, build that confidence in, taking on the actor roles? Was this something that you'd done before acting, or did that cross-pollinate?
Yeah, you know what? It was actually it, the visa that I was on in the States, I couldn't have a side job. So kind of like, doing commercials kind of was my side job.
Right.
So, until I got the green card. But like I actually love doing commercials. I feel like in England, it's a real stigma that when you actually don't do commercials as well,
right.
I thoroughly enjoyed them. Like I will sell you the toothpaste, I'll sell you the lotion. I mean,
you got your nice white beautiful teeth. I can sit so you fit the roles. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy commercials. I mean, it's very, very different, in terms of the way you approach a commercial to the way you approach acting. But
right.
Building that confidence in front of the camera and having lines for sure.
Yeah.
I would often be paired up with people
True.
who definitely looked the part, but they couldn't do the lines, and I was
right.
just thinking, gosh, if you just worked on that, you would be.
Then you would have been in there already. Yeah. I hear you, because it's like a crossover. So like learning lines and stuff like that in commercials, then for modeling, it's the same way that it translates through acting, and that's what has built you up to this point. I mean, what would be your dream role at this point? I mean, I know this is a dream come true for you, being involved in one of the biggest franchises out there.
Being on Power was definitely in the center of my vision board for many years.
Wow. So was it on your mood board, like, I'm going to be in Power, I'm going to be in Power, I'm going to be in Power?
No,
did you manifest
once,
it?
Just in the middle, just once.
Just in the middle.
But it definitely was, 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp and, Power were definitely on there. So I get asked this a lot, actually. Something, I rarely get to be British.
Really?
So it'd be cool to do something, like a real, like, Bridgerton, something completely different.
Right. So what would the role be? What would you want to do?
I'm very open. I audition for such eclectic roles. I'm very open.
Yeah.
When I get a script, I know if I'm into it or not. Like I said, when I got the Gloria script for this show, I was like,
you were involved.
I want this.
Yeah. So who would be a dream actor that you want to get yourself involved with as well? I mean, again, Power is up there, but is there someone that you envision, like, on your mood board who you want to be as, like, the top?
Well, Joseph Sikora and Thomas Flanagan were definitely two of them. So that's, like, amazing that I've got to work with both of them.
Of course.
Gosh, there are so many amazing actors out there.
Maybe just a few to bring it out.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible actor.
Obviously, I mean, my top three actors that I just love: Denzel, Meryl, and Viola.
Nice.
Just, an incredible trio.
Yeah.
And just people that I admire and look up to and study, in fact.
So obviously those people that are inspirations to getting to the point of where you are now. So to get you involved with, let's say you and Denzel, that'd be a sick like combination. I can foresee it now.
I would like, and he's directing now as well. I would love to be directed by Denzel.
Right. Because you produce it. You've been producing a lot as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually went to school for production, so that's kind of how I started, and that's how I started behind the camera, and then went in front of the camera.
I hear you, man. So I mean, look, obviously, you're in the Stars family now. You're in there. You're part of the fam. I guess now at this point, what can we really expect from you going forward? Because obviously, it can only get even bigger from here for you as far as your career.
From your mouth to God's ears.
I like that. Again, manifestation. So what we expecting from you next then, as far as, like, any direct projects that are coming up from you? I
mean, I'm definitely in talks for a couple of things right now, but we'll wait and see.
Ooh, nothing you can hint to me as a little exclusive? Is it something we're definitely something that is watching. Is there like a theme that maybe you can tell me it could be that you're looking at?
No, but I will tell you what I am watching that I love, and I'm sure the rest of the world is as well. Euphoria.
Ooh.
Euphoria is... Okay. I watched that show and have heart palpitations. I don't know if you remember the show Skins.
I haven't watched many of Skins, but I am aware. People have been telling me.
Right, well, Skins was... I feel like Euphoria is like Skins times 1,000. But watching... I don't actually know how parents watch Euphoria and don't lock up their children.
Yeah. They're just like, that's fine. Everyone's free to watch the show. It's fine.
And that cast is stellar. So I'm definitely enjoying Euphoria at the moment.
Mad, crazy. And what will be your top 3 movies of all time for you?
Oh, top 3 movies. You know what? I mean, it's a classic. It's a cheesy one. I love Love and Basketball.
Do you know what?
It's always one of my favorites.
I get into. I'm not ashamed to say this. I get into my feelings all the time I watch it. Every time I watch it,
Basketball.
It's so romantically based. I just think to myself, what is he doing that I'm not doing?
You're
You know what I mean?
hilarious.
I just think to
Hilarious.
myself, I'm less worthy than the characters there. I'm not getting love the way they're doing it.
I mean, I was definitely watching it for Sanaa Lathan. I had such a girl crush on her. And I mean, gosh, there's so many movies, but you know, just off the top of my head, I love Stand By Me. Absolute classic.
Yeah.
Like another classic that just came into my head actually, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh wow.
Anytime if you know when you're flicking
Morgan
through
Freeman, yeah.
sometimes, oh, like
Wow.
that
That was an
movie.
infamous movie as well.
Oh,
Yeah. I'd say my top 3 is probably like I'm definitely a Terminator buff.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Terminator. I was always an action. I like my Lethal Weapons. I like my Terminators.
Oh, you're really action, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time though, I do like comedies as well. I like my Fridays, Friday series.
Friday, obviously.
Trying to think off the top of my head as well what I'm watching at the moment. Do you know what's funny? Actually, I'm into Law and Order.
I feel like everybody's into Law and Order. I'm
Not
into Law and
everyone,
Order, but
though.
only SVU. I will only
Yes,
watch SVU.
yes. No, that's the only one I watched. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't invest in the other cases.
Nah.
But I remember because I spent a summer in St. Lucia with my grandma when I was little, and subsequently every other summer.
Right.
But that was when I got into Law and Order in the Caribbean. Because they had
Wow.
American TV, so I just watched it over and over and over.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly before we wrap up as well is that with Law and Order, what triggered me into watching it was because my grandmother used to always watch it.
There you go.
And unfortunately, she passed away a few years ago.
Oh, sorry.
And I remember the one day, no, it's fine. The one day I was called up, I had to go straight up to my nan's place because she had unfortunately passed when I had to call. And when I was there with my mum and we were embracing and everything like that, the first TV show we were watching just to kind of get our minds off it was Law and Order. And ever since then, I've just been obsessed.
It's like your escapism.
Yeah, it is, you know. But then I watched the program. I'm just like, some of the themes that come from it, I'm thinking like, I need to go to bed before I go do a mad one. Some of these people are mad.
I haven't watched it in a minute, but
Right.
I love a bit of SVU, yeah.
Yeah, Benson,
Funnily enough, actually,
Stabler.
Ice-T and Coco came to our premiere.
How did that feel?
That was awesome. He was awesome. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And
did
Fat
you
Joe,
tell-
might I add.
Oh, mad.
That was definitely
mad.
I think everyone went crazy when Fat Joe walked in. That was awesome.
I bet it went off. I bet it went off. And did you speak to Ice-T?
Yeah. He's a fan of the show, so he came and watched it.
Did you tell him that you were a fan of watching SVU as well?
No, I didn't tell him that. I should have.
Should have. Well, I mean, next
I'll
time
give
you
you
might be
space.
able to. But anyway, you know, I got to let you go because I know you got more famous shit to do, so I ain't gonna hold you up
my
much
goodness.
longer. But no, thank you so much for taking time
Thank
to speak
you for
to me.
having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
So if you want to tell our audience where they can catch you, if there's any socials or anything else is coming up, if
Yeah.
you want to promote Power, the floor is all yours. You're looking at that
Definitely.
camera over there.
Definitely tune in on Stars Play in the UK, or it's an Amazon add-on. You guys get it at 5 a.m. each Sunday. That's when it drops because it's midnight in New York. So tune in. We've got another, 8 episodes I think to go. My socials are Ms. Gabrielle Ryan, which is MS, and my name, Gabrielle Ryan, on Instagram.
So not Mrs. So not Mrs. or Miss, but Ms.
In between, ambiguous. And it's the same on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you so much, and enjoy Paris when you get this
Thank
weekend,
you.
and hopefully season 2. And I wish you all the best in your career. And,
Thank you so much.
And just keep being beautiful the way you are, man.
Oh, thank you so much.